Hello and welcome to the first ever Kent and Medway Enterprise Advisor Network International Women's Week. My name is Tracy Ann Barker and I am a training director. I have the great pleasure of hosting the first day's events. This week aims to raise aspiration, motivate and challenge stereotypical thinking of women in the world of work. We want to inspire the young people of Kent and Medway, and today is the first of 5 90-minute broadcasts consisting of recorded interviews and live speakers. We will hear from female role models and inspirational men and women from a range of industries about their experiences. Alongside the events each day, we will be running a social media campaign through our Kent and Medway Enterprise Advisor Network LinkedIn page and Instagram page, showcasing inspirational quotes from women in business, as well as more inspiring employer videos. Everything you see across this week, you will be able to view after the event on the new Kent and Medway World of Work YouTube channel. Before we get started, I want to hand over to Georgina Angel, the Regional Lead for the Southeast region of the Careers and Enterprise Company, for a personal welcome.
Good morning and welcome to everyone joining the Kent and Medway Enterprise Advisor Network on International Women's Day. I'm Georgina Angela and I work for the Careers and Enterprise Company. I'm extremely proud of the 6 enterprise coordinators for creating such an exciting programme of speakers and webinars celebrating achievements of women in their workplaces and challenging stereotypes. Personally, I've had a varied career thus far, spanning private, public and charity sectors. And by far the best careers advice that I've had was from my hero, my lifelong mentor, a retired head teacher in special educational needs, and also my mum. To her teenage daughter, expressing a dream to become a teacher, she said, "You'll be a great teacher, darling, but go out and do something else first. Then you can bring stories of the world into your experiences and into the classroom." I'm 47 this year and still happily doing something else first. I would like to share one of my favourite quotes with you from Carl Booner. "People may forget what you say, but they will never forget how you made them feel." I hope that all of the young people engaging in the programme this week, regardless of your gender, will enjoy and learn from what you see and hear. I also hope that you will feel inspired, more confident, and perhaps more career curious as a result of this wonderful showcase of motivated and motivating women. Finally, from me, I'm thrilled that this programme of activity has captured the attention of Helen Grant MP for Maidstone and the Weald, and the Prime Minister's Special Envoy for Girls' Education. Helen has recorded a short message for us all, providing a strong message on the importance of educating girls and women, both here and across the globe. Over to Helen Grant MP.
Hello everyone, my name's Helen Grant and I'm really proud to be celebrating International Women's Day with inspiring women from across Kent doing amazing things in their respective lives and showing that there's no limit to what can be achieved. As the Prime Minister's Special Envoy for Girls' Education, my role is to globally champion the Prime Minister's message that providing every girl on the planet with 12 years quality education is one of the best ways of tackling many of the issues facing the world today, such as poverty, climate change and inequality. Investing in girls' education is a game changer. A woman whose child who can read is 50% more likely to live beyond the age of 5, twice as likely to go to school themselves, and 50% more likely to be immunised. Girls' education is therefore vital for women and girls, who make up 51% of the population, but also for boosting incomes and building strong economies and nations. Tragically, the pandemic has been one of the biggest educational disruptors in our history. All over the world, our children have been out of school. Many of these children are girls. Many of them will never return to school or even start school, all creating a very real risk of a lost generation of girls. And so we need to raise our game globally in response. And I challenge you today to champion this important cause of girls' education by lobbying leaders, local, religious, business, political, national leaders, asking them to speak out much more, as our Prime Minister Boris Johnson has done, on the importance of educating girls and all of the advantages for girls and women, their children, their families, their communities and their nations. If we can do this, and I believe we can, the human race will be in a much better place. Thank you.
Thank you, Georgina and Helen, for such powerful messages. They've really set the tone for this week. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about who I am and my journey. I was born and grew up in Northfleet in North Kent, quite an industrial part of the county. I had quite an average schooling. I enjoyed my school time, but I had to work really hard to get my GCSE grades. My grades weren't good enough, and my parents couldn't afford to send me to university. So the next logical step for me was to go off to college at the age of 16. I studied business and finance, and eventually when I went into the world of work at 18, I secured an apprenticeship with a transport and warehousing company. We know that today as supply chain and logistics. I progressed through the industry, and eventually at the age of 21, I became a supervisor. I really enjoyed the world of transport and logistics. It gave me such variety, but it wasn't something that I knew I wanted to go into when I was at school. It really helped set me up for my career and for my progress in life. Eventually, after nearly 20 years, things changed in the industry. But what was really important was that my skills and my knowledge that I'd grown during the 20 years in the sector was that I became quite flexible and adaptable. And those key things really helped me in my next career step. And I secured a job working with Blue Water in partnership with the local college. That's probably the job in my career that I'm most proud of. Working with local people, training and helping them find jobs. I absolutely loved that job. And the previous 20 years had really helped set me on the path for the next stage of my career. So as I progressed through the commercial world, I became senior manager, I became a director. 2 years ago, I decided I was going to make that next step and set up my own business. And that's what I do today. I run a training business and I work with managers and small businesses. I absolutely love it. I know that those foundations that I set when I was at school and when I was at college, even when things were really tough, have helped me on my journey and led to where I am today. So let's move on. The first inspirational speaker I would like to introduce to you is world and UK kickboxing champion, Kelly Hayne. Kelly is a single mother, a business owner, and a true inspiration to the sporting world. Here is her story.
Hello peeps, my name is Kelly Hayne and I am a professional Muay Thai and K1 fighter. I hold multiple titles, from English title, British title and world titles. I started kickboxing when I was about 12 years old, and the only reason I got into kickboxing is because I wanted to be like my big brother and I wanted to be quite competitive with him. So I was like, Mum, Dad, I want to try out kickboxing. It just so happened that unfortunately for my brother, I turned out to be a lot better than him and started doing national competitions where I was a Pee-wee national champion in kickboxing. 1 year after starting and competing, I quit because I got a horse. I became involved in my social life of going out with my friends and becoming a teenager. So I ditched the kickboxing. after probably 2 years of doing kickboxing, and decided I wanted to try horse riding and hang out with my friends a lot more. So that was quite a big gap from when I was doing kickboxing from the age of 12. I'd become a mother, I'd done multiple jobs, repping, holiday repping, traveling the world, administration, doing stuff on computers, and finally I became a property manager for Wealth Dragons. And that was at the age of 30, I decided I wanted to go back into kickboxing just to try out for like a fitness perspective and to try and get a little bit more healthy. I was at that time a single mum with my little boy Archie, who is now 13, so not so little anymore. But I decided I wanted to get back into kickboxing and literally, like I said, just as a fitness perspective. So I went back, and that is where the golden gates opened and opportunities started to flood in for me, and my world and my life changed dramatically. I started back at Total Dojo, prime example of our logo, and it was amazing. I felt fitter than ever. I loved it, and my coach at the time, Tony Davis, said to me, "Kelly, you've got a very rare talent. You're amazing at what you do. Would you like to start competing?" So 1 year, so from the age of 30 to 31, I was like, yes, I will take a little competition just to see how it goes. Obviously, I was no young chicken back then when I was 30 years old, but I always had it in my heart that I did enjoy the kickboxing when I did it. I just obviously was a teenager and done teenage stuff. So lo and behold, 1 year in training from the age of 30 to 31, still a property manager, I done my first ever competition. It was a no win and lose. It was just getting in the ring, gaining the experience, and I loved it. So lo and behold, another fight got booked in, and it was one amateur fight. So you have amateur where you get ring experience and you can progress in your fighting, in your sport, and then you go to a pro level many years later, but not for me. I had one amateur fight, got seen by other managers that wanted me to fight their opponents, their females, and I got offered my third fight to go straight to pro. So I took the opportunity. You should take every opportunity, every chance at anything you get with both hands, just grab it. At the end of the day, you win, you lose, you might not enjoy it, you might enjoy it, but just grab every opportunity. You know, there's no opportunities that you shouldn't really take, especially if you've got a little bit of inspiration to do it, if you enjoy it a little bit, or if it's something that you might want to try out, just do it, do it, do it, do it. So from that point forward, the age of 31 years old, I started competing as a professional fighter, quit my job as a property manager. My little boy wasn't best happy that his mummy was becoming a professional fighter, but he accepted it. After coming to a few of the O2 fights in London, O2 Arena, and he got a bit excited, I suppose the attention of all the fighters. And I'm undefeated in K1. I never give up. I had lots and lots and lots of hurdles to overcome. My family obviously weren't too sure about me being female and wanting to literally give it all I could at the age of obviously in my 30s, where I'd found my passion. I'd found the one thing that I loved later on in life, and I went for it with everything I had. I had amazing sponsors to help me along the way. The company, Wealth Dragons, actually sponsored me. So I quit my job and they sponsored me on my journey of becoming a professional fighter. I then went back to school as I had no education whatsoever. I was very bad, but I decided to gain an experience in sport and become a personal trainer, which I absolutely love. I'm now a business owner, a director of a women's combat boot camp and martial arts centre, Enigma Fitness. I'm all over the world doing Kelly Hayne's professional fighter online training, and I literally love everything I do when it comes to sport, my professional sport as in martial arts, and my fitness side. So the message really to give to you is, like I said, every opportunity grab with two hands, whether you're not sure if you want to do it or you do want to do it, but more so if you're not sure, because you're never going to know unless you try something. And never think you're too old, or if you've missed an opportunity, you can't go back to it. You can always go back to it, always go back to it. And you're never too old to start something. If you've got something in your heart that you want to do, go for it, 100%. Becoming a world champion was very exciting, very overwhelming. Like I said, from a single mum, property manager, hitting 30 and becoming a professional fighter, that I hadn't even done the sport since I was 12 years old, was quite a big hurdle. However, I had that much belief in myself that I wanted to achieve, that I made it possible. And that is a massive message to put across to all of you out there. Your brain is the biggest control of your whole body. If you go into something half-hearted, that's the results that you will get at the end. You have to go into anything that you're passionate about with 100% positivity, 100% mindset, and go for it. Because the only person that has control on their ability is yourself. You should all know that. And I really want to put across to all of you, I trained hours and hours through injuries. I missed time with my son, which was very, very hard growing up. I missed time with my family, I missed time with my friends. But I knew that this type of sport and the level I was at, I couldn't go back to it again, because obviously I started at such a later age that I was so determined to prove to myself that I'd finally found my passion, and I'd finally wanted to succeed in something that I knew I'd finally found that I'd loved. So there was no way I was letting anything get in my way, and I was going all out with 100% positivity and 100% effort. And the results show. Becoming qualified, which I've never thought I'd be able to do, having my business, being a successful business owner, professional fighter, all of these goals I managed to achieve myself because I went into it 100% and I believed in myself. My family was so supportive. I had an amazing coach. But at the end of the day, the only person that can push you through life is yourself. So any opportunity, I want you to go out, conquer it, try as many different things as you can, because you don't need to decide now at a young age what you want to do later on in life. Just try as many things as you like and go back to something that you enjoyed. I'm taking my involvement with my fight career and my training across many, many charities. I work as an ambassador for MK Act, which is a women's refuge. I do weekly training sessions at the moment, obviously not in the refuge, but they are all online. I do PE sessions for the children in the refuge. I'm an ambassador for Fit for Life, which helps young girls get back in and engaged into PE in secondary schools. I'm also linked to Sports Trader, where we're helping children from deprived areas and children with disabilities back into sport. I have a number of fundraising events where at Enigma Fitness we have some ladies who are terminally ill. So we do fundraising events for their families. We allow them to train for free. And I'm just at the moment doing a senior free training sessions, because obviously we're stuck in COVID, we're all in lockdown, and our elder generation are much loved elders that are stuck at home and scared stiff to go out. I'm doing sessions for free so that they can do a little workout in their living room. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. So the work that I've put across to all my charities and to all my ladies in Enigma Fitness, you know, I started an 8-week boot camp with 10 ladies, and I've built Enigma Fitness now to 66 members. That's great number, really, thinking that I've built it from scratch. These ladies come all ages, they come with disabilities, they come with low and advanced fitness levels. But I've influenced these ladies, again, to believe anything they want to do in life, whether it's a combat fitness training, or if they're just asking for some advice. that, you know, we're a supportive network of ladies. They can come in, they can talk to one another, they can go out, conquer goals that they never even thought they were going to achieve, just because of the simple fact, working and surrounding yourself with positive people is a very key thing in your life. If you have people with a very negative attitude, they're always going to hold you back, and it's almost like you're going to surround yourself with that same attitude. So, like I said, surround yourself with positive people. The girls that I have worked with and people and charities that I work with, I always say to them, just believe in yourself enough to try it and push to the next level. Don't give up on a goal. Set yourself a goal, and once you achieve that goal, set the next goal, so that you have little boundaries and little tiny goals to get to your end big goal. It's a lot easier to do that if it's losing weight, if it's to improve your cardio, if it's to improve an injury. All of these things you need to set small goals to achieve towards the big goal. It's been lovely talking to you all. I hope just a few of my words, or even one or two of my sentences that didn't bumble on too much, actually come across to you to show you that I am just a normal girl, a next door girl from Bletchley, who's managed to, at the age of 30, go back to fitness, find her passion in her 30s and conquer her dreams and become a world, English and British title holder in Muay Thai and undefeated in K1 fighting. Anything is possible, anything, but you have to be positive. You have to set your heart to it, and you have to believe in yourself. These are all musts and have to. I think from now on, my next stage for 2021 is I've been offered a lot of contracts, fight contracts, but they are for 2 years, and I would only like to go for another big one. But you never know. At the minute, there's no fighting, obviously due to COVID, but there's still fight left in me, and I am determined to at least get another couple of fights in this year, whether it be in Thailand or whether it be in the UK or America. Who knows, because we don't know what the plans are. But there is still fight in me. I will be fighting, and I will keep you updated, and you are welcome to come and watch. Right, all take care. Lovely to speak to you all. And remember, believe in yourself. Stay positive. Bye.
How fantastic was Kelly? I hope you all feel empowered and see the difference you can make in how you feel and how you look at things. Our next speaker is from a very different industry. Please welcome an inspirational recording from General Counsel and Company Director at Coca-Cola, Claire Wardell. Enjoy.
Hello, I'm Claire Wardell. I'm General Counsel and Company Secretary at Coca-Cola European Partners plc, which is the largest Coke bottler by revenue in the world. It operates in 14 countries in Europe, serving 300 million consumers, and I work with 23,500 other colleagues there. And I'm also lucky enough to be one of the executive sponsors of our Gender Catalyst group, where we're working hard to get to our target by 2025 of having 40% of women in management. Obviously, I didn't start out there. When I started out at university, I had no idea what I was going to do at the end of it. I jumped into law because it was the only thing I could envisage doing about halfway through my course, and I've enjoyed it hugely. And if I had to give any advice to any of you starting out, it's that if you work hard and enjoy what you do, you can really get where you want to be. It's just a matter of taking the opportunities as they come along. I know it looks very, very difficult now in the darkness of COVID-19, but there's still going to be opportunities afterwards. So enjoy yourselves and have fun along the way.
It is important to remember that this week is about inspiring all young people. It is essential that we hear from male voices throughout this week as well as empowering women. Up next, we have Derek Brown, CEO of Entrepreneurs in Action, followed by Catherine Platts, Technology and Innovation Lead for Unilever.
Hi, my name's Derek Brown. I'm the CEO of Entrepreneurs in Action, and I'm really, really pleased today to join you to share a few tips around how you as young ladies can be successful. And so I'd like to start and I'm going to end with the following phrase. There is no success without you. There is no success without you. Okay, so just look at the word, spell success, take you out of it, and what does it spell? It doesn't spell a lot, does it? Because it needs you in the middle of it to be successful. And that's what I want to talk to you about. So I'm excited. So just remember, when you start the journey beyond school, you start to think about school, start to think about the journey of success, and that it's up to you, that everything you want to achieve in this world begins with you. Okay, I really want you to think about that. When you start to think about your dreams and ambitions, start to imagine you being successful. Start to dream about you doing the things that you want to achieve and you want to do. School is tough. We don't necessarily all enjoy it, but it's a means to an end. And the only person, who's going to sit the exam, who's going to work for the exam, who's going to prepare for the exam, is you. And you can determine how hard you work, whether you work. That will determine your success. And today I just want to encourage you to go that extra bit, extra mile to be successful. Put the you into your hard work. Really want to see that. And if you're not happy with life, and sometimes we all go through stages where we're not happy, right? And we're looking for other people to change what's happening for us. And all I'm saying, if you want change to happen for you, dig deep inside of you. Find that change, find that passion, find that drive to make change happen for you. Don't accept where you are. Today, where you are is not your destination. Your destination, you, where you are going, is far beyond where you are today. So don't get caught up with today, please. So the only other thing I'd want to say really is we all have friends. We all have friends in life. And for me, friends are like a lift. Some friends take you up, some friends take you down, and some friends, they keep you where you are. They don't want you to go any further. And all I want for you, if you want to be the you in your success, is find those friends who want to take you up, because that's the best place to go. And the people who are blockers, who don't want you to go anywhere, say no. And the people who are getting you to do things that you know are not going to help you and taking you down, say no. So just remember how talented you are and what you are capable of doing. And I think if you believe in you and you realize that without success, it doesn't happen without you, and you spell that every night and you put yourself in that you, sitting in that you, then you will be successful. So go out there, nail it, go for it, be you, and let the world know that you are you and you are coming. So wishing you every success. And remember, there's no success without you. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Katie and I'm the Global Technology Innovation Lead and Ethical AI Lead for Unilever. For those that aren't familiar with Unilever, we're one of the world's leading suppliers of beauty and personal care, home care and food and refreshments products, with sales in over 190 countries, and we reach around 2.5 billion consumers a day. We have around 400 brands found in homes all over the world, including some you may recognise, so Dove, Knorr, Hellmann's, Lipton, Walls, Magnum, Lynx, Tresemme and Surf, just to name a few. My role is to explore and evaluate new exciting technologies that have the potential to help grow our business and achieve our sustainability agenda. With my team, we conduct experiments with emerging technology such as artificial intelligence, augmented reality, 5G, and I also lead up our ethical AI work stream, where in line with those experiments, our ambition is to ensure all AI and wider tech is ethical in nature. So how did I end up here? To be honest, when I was at school, there wasn't much focus on IT or computer science. And I think the fact I attended an all-girls school had a part in amplifying that lack of focus. During this time, I didn't know what I was going to end up doing. I quite liked geography, I quite liked maths, but it wasn't clear to me where this would lead me to later in life. I actually ended up studying psychology at university, which I absolutely loved. And still at that time, a career in technology didn't even cross my mind. So when I was offered a graduate position at a large consulting firm, Accenture, within their technology consulting group, I was quite surprised, but I thought, why not? Let's try it out. And it turns out that was the best decision I've ever made. I quickly started to realise that those areas of interest I had at school and at university will always come into my life in a career in technology. In particular, psychology, which might come as a surprise, but that interaction of humans and machines has become a huge passion of mine and indeed led me into my role within AI ethics. If I could talk to myself now back in my school days, I tell myself to stop worrying about defining a career path based on a particular subject or area. But I tell myself to stay curious, really understand what is exciting me. It could have been a whole subject, but it turned out for me to be little bits of different areas that came together and drove me into the direction and into now what it really is a dream job in technology. For me, success is two things. One, being truly excited and interested in what you do. Now, of course, there's going to be parts of any job that might not fully interest you, but if the underpinning area and themes that run through your day-to-day work excite you, then not only do I see that as a success of getting to that point, but will also drive you to future successes. So number two is surrounding yourself with people that support you, inspire you, and make you feel great. I'm really lucky to have a wonderful network within technology at Unilever, most of whom are women, and we really do. We help to lift each other up in day to day, and we continue to help each other being successful in our different areas. So what's next for me? As I work both in AI ethics and the wider technology innovation, it's becoming clearer and clearer to me that understanding of human and machine interaction is going to be crucial to ensure technology and society continue to work together and benefit each other. I'm currently looking into further education, into applied psychology, to strengthen my understanding, allow me to push forward with research in this area, both within Unilever and in wider society, and that's something that truly excites me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and remember to focus on you. There is no success without you. And as Catherine says, it's okay not to be sure what you want to do. Some really great advice. Thank you both very much. Wow, what great speakers so far. Our last two guests for today's broadcast are from Southeastern Railway. Gemma Davis is a railway enforcement officer and Kelly Jo Ballard is a train driver in the Kent area. You're going to hear their stories and then they'll be joining live to take some questions from you. Please make use of the question box as you watch their videos. This is a great opportunity to find out about careers in the transport sector. So don't be shy and get those questions in.
Hello. My name is Gemma and I am the Railway Enforcement Team Leader for Ashford International, working for Southeastern Railways. My role is to lead a team of 8 railway enforcement officers across our network. So what is the role of a railway enforcement officer? If you were ever to read one of our job descriptions, it'd be something along the lines of to provide a high visibility presence to deter crime and antisocial behaviour. But what does that actually mean? It means that we speak to people. We wear a uniform that commonly gets us mistaken for the police. So we wear the same hat, we wear an luminous yellow vest with a shirt and a tie. And the purpose of that uniform is to give us that uniformed authority look, but at the same time it allows us to be that high visibility presence so that people can come and talk to us when they've got questions, concerns, or when they need some help. A typical day for a railway enforcement officer, I don't think it exists. So unlike many other jobs, we have an awful lot of freedom. On a daily basis, we are assigned a line of route, and a line of route, as an example, might be from Ashford as point A to Margate, which is point B. If we have no taskings, no operations, and no intelligence to base our shift upon, we go out and find it. We don't have to get on the 8:02 train. We can get on the 8:02, the 8:15, the 8:30, whatever is needed. If we are stood somewhere like Canterbury West and it's really busy, we've got a lot of inquiries, we've got a lot of people pushing through without tickets, we will spend longer there. If we were then to jump on a service and head down to Ramsgate and actually there was 4 passengers, are we needed there, or could we be more beneficial somewhere else? It's very much up to us as to where we go and what we do. I get asked a lot, how did I become a railway enforcement officer? So I joined Kent Police as a police community support officer, having previously worked in retail, and prior to that had tried to pursue a career as a dancer. They don't link up, do they? So when I was very young, I decided I wanted to be a professional dancer, and fortunately it didn't really work out. I'd done a few things and then decided that actually that wasn't for me anymore. So I'd done my GCSEs, I'd done my AS levels, and I was working part-time for Tesco at the time, and then began to express an interest in the management roles. After a little while, I decided that actually that wasn't for me anymore, and a few of my friends had recently become police officers. Police community support officer was quite new at the time, read the job description and liked the sounds of it. Very similar to what I do now. It was going out, it was talking to people, it was supporting a local community, and decided to go for that. So went for that. Within that job was where I met railway enforcement officers. We were doing a joint operation at Broadstairs for Folk Week and got talking to this group of men and was really astounded they'd never had a female REO based at Margate, and very quickly decided that I wanted to be that first female. So I applied and I was successful enough to have got in, and 6 years later I'm not at Margate anymore, but I am a railway enforcement officer. So what do I enjoy most about my job? There's a few things that I enjoy. I've already mentioned the fact that I enjoy the freedom we get within this role. One of the other things that I like is that it's going out and it's talking to people. It's talking to staff members, to passengers, and people from other agencies. I like putting all of that information together and helping work out that puzzle. Working out why we've got a problem with bike thefts at Dartford, as an example, or why we've got a group of young persons that keep congregating at Whitstable. I like speaking to people and figuring it all out. I enjoy working part of a team, but I also enjoy working by myself, and this role is just so diverse. It kind of ticks every box for me, which I really enjoy. Speaking to my colleagues, we all seem to share very similar thoughts on what are the best parts of this role, which is why we probably all do it. So how did other people feel about my career choices, and what did they say? Once I worked in retail, the departments I worked within were very male orientated. When I joined the police, that was another job role which was very male orientated. When I first joined the railway nearly 6 years ago, railway enforcement officers were predominantly men. I was the first railway enforcement officer that was female for Margate. I'm happy to say that since then there have been another 2 join. When I look back on 6 years ago, you know, I think there was 6 maybe female enforcement officers, and that number has just exploded ever since, which for me is just amazing. It makes for a much more diverse working group. Has anyone ever said anything about that? No, not really. I've always been really lucky that my friends and family have always supported what I wanted to do. There's always concerns when you join any job. So my parents were really worried when I first joined the police. I told them I was leaving the police, and then they were even more worried. It took me a long time to get my head around that one. But I'm happy in what I do. So why not? You've got to do what you enjoy. What would I tell myself if I was your age again? I don't know if I would. There's part of me that would be saying, try everything. Don't rule anything out. Look at different jobs, ask questions. But at the same time, if you had told me at the age of 14, 15 that I'd be working for the railway, I probably wouldn't believe you. It's very much about finding your own path, seeing what suits you, and talking to other people. Ask them for help, ask them for support, and just ask them the questions. I hope that when you can and when you want to, that maybe we'll meet one day and you'll be joining me on my journey with the railway.
Hi, my name is Kelly and I am a train driver for Southeastern, and I have been doing this for 4 years. I recently have had a promotion, so I am also a ad hoc driving instructor. My typical day involves me as a train driver to transport passengers to their destinations. This is normally all over South East Network, so no day is the same. As a driving instructor, when I have a trainee, they come to me once they've come out of the training school to learn their rules and the traction, which is to do with the mechanics of a train. They come with me and I teach them how to actually drive the train. How I became a train driver was previously I was a bus driver with all intention of them moving into being a train driver. Before that I cared for my grandmother, and then before that I worked in libraries. The thing I enjoy mostly about my job is one day is the same as the next. I work with some really fantastic people. We all have quite a good giggle together. I've always got full support from managers. I'm also able to do things like this, which helps other people and be part of different projects, which I really enjoy. And there's lots of opportunities also to learn. So there's lots of different courses I can go on, which may be relevant to my job role, but also may be relevant to other things. For instance, I could do a computer course. In regards to the driving instructor, I am really enjoying this as I am giving other people the opportunity to do the same job I'm doing, which I love. Lots of different people come through, so all different people I work with there, and learning how they're going to best learn to drive a train is very challenging, so that keeps me interested in what I'm doing. Some of the things I don't like about my job is it can be very stressful. We are carrying lots and lots of people around every day, so I'm very conscious of the safety aspect of the job. There are lots and lots of rules that you have to learn and remember, and they do change quite often. So we are tested every year. When I was at school, I wasn't very sure about what I wanted to do. I thought I did, and I trained to be a florist. But due to things happening in life and needing to move on, this then led on to me trying lots of different jobs. The one thing I would say is any job I've been in, I've always done learning. So I've always learnt new skills or have done courses to further my education. I was very lucky. My grandmother brought me up and she supported my career journey 100%. She always told me to follow what I really felt like I wanted to do, and that if I worked hard, anything was possible. When I became a bus driver, people were a little bit shocked. Also, when I worked in libraries, because I like to talk a lot, people couldn't understand how I could work in a library because you're supposed to be quiet. But in libraries, I got to do a lot of events with children and with adults, with crafts and music events. So it was quite interesting. And then when I finally got onto the trains, it's more people that don't actually know me that are the most shocked. So when I meet new people and tell them my job, they truly can't believe it and want to know more. They're always really interested. And I love telling people about my job because I really enjoy it. If I could give my younger self any advice, it most certainly would be not to put pressure on myself to find the right job, and know that it sometimes takes a while to find what you want to do. I think it's important that you enjoy your job as well, and that you're sure that this is the career you want to stay in. If it isn't, it is okay to move on.
Good morning, Kelly. Are you still online?
Good morning, yes I am.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your story and your journey, and great that we can see you now. Unfortunately, we are having a few problems with Gemma coming on. She's having a few technical problems, and I think we've experienced some as well. So thank you for sharing your story with us. So just tell us a little bit about why today was so important for you.
I really like the fact that Southeastern are trying to find, make it a more diverse place to work. So they are trying to encourage younger people, they're trying to encourage more women. And I just thought this was a really good platform to show women that this is a good career to be in. I mean, I absolutely love it. There are more men than women as train drivers, but that is slowly changing. We're having more and more women come through the training school, which is great to see. And yeah, once again, it's just supporting women and also other people and making them aware that this is a good career to get into.
Fantastic. And tell us a little bit more, Kelly, about some of the roles that are on that are available within Southeastern.
You can apply for any of the roles. So there's so much. There's gate line, which is where you stand on the gates and check tickets, and you're there to offer advice or information to passengers. Obviously, there's my role, which is as a train driver. As I said in my video, I have been promoted to a driving instructor, which is great. So my career is actually moving on, which is excellent. On my side, I could then move into being a driving manager if I wanted to, or I could move into the training school, which is where they teach all your rules and your traction, which is mechanics of the train. So that would be the start of your journey, becoming a driver. So there are lots of ways that I can move on in my job, which I like. There's platform staff, which at certain stations we don't dispatch ourselves, we get dispatched by staff from the station. So there's quite a few roles within the railway, and even not so much customer facing, but even in the offices. So we have what are called resource managers, and they're the people that we contact if there's problems out there, and they're there on hand to help us. You have MDC, which is the maintenance defect team, and they're the ones that fix the trains when they go wrong, the engineering side of things. So there is that people can go into as well. There's hundreds of jobs that you could go into on the railway.
Wow, fascinating. Who would think that? So Kelly, just tell us a little bit more about the pathways into the industry. And how does one get into a role with Southeastern?
So initially, my advice would be is to go onto the website, Southeastern website. You can actually sign up on their website. You can have a look at the different jobs that they actually offer and the job descriptions, so you can see whether it might be something for you. You can sign up for alerts, so they can alert you when a specific job does come up. But my advice would be, if there is a role that you're particularly looking for, so in my instance, a train driver, then I signed up for an alert, but I also checked daily to see if any vacancies had come up. So yeah, the initial thing would be to have a look on their website. They've got lots of information on there, and have a look. You never know, there could be a career for someone there.
Fantastic. And is there anything specific at school or college that we should be studying, wanting to go into your industry?
Not particularly. The railway works in a different way. So in regards to as a driver, you do get tested in the beginning, which is more about how your brain works rather than say English or maths. So you're tested in that way because there's certain skills. Your mind has to work a certain way to give you the best chance to succeed in the training. One thing I will say, which I believe isn't just the railway, if you show that you are hardworking and that you're dedicated, that will support you in any job that you're going for. Most employers just want to see that you can apply yourself and you do try your hardest. My grandmother always taught me it didn't matter if you passed or failed, as long as you've given 100%, that's the best that you can do, and to learn from your experience. So I've definitely used that going on in my life.
Brilliant, thank you. Good advice from grandmother. Kelly, I take it that there are apprenticeship routes as well into Southeastern.
That is correct, there is. That's a new thing. So my trainee that I've got at the moment, he's part apprenticeship. So again, it's another good thing that it's another string to your bow. And the railway really are trying to put in and invest into their employees.
Fantastic, thank you for that. So you mentioned skills that employers look for. What are some of the other top skills you think an employer would look for?
On the railway or as a general?
Just general. I mean, young people at the moment who are listening in are in secondary education or college, or even some maybe even older, but some of the transferable skills that they're developing whilst in education or in areas of employment they're currently in, what are some of the things that they could take that employers really look for and need?
I mean, I can only speak for what I think. I can't speak for other people. People skills help, being able to talk to people and get your views across. All sorts of it. Any form of education will help you. I think it's important to remember I wasn't very good at school. It wasn't I didn't try, but I didn't class myself as being brainy, which sort of steered me down the path of going into floristry, because I thought that I wouldn't need as much education for it. I've learned going on that that's not the case, and you can use any of the skills that you learn and transfer them and make them benefit you, which is why any role that I've ever been in, if there's been a chance for me to do a course or to do further education, I've always taken that opportunity. Some things you may not be good at, but that's fine. We're not all made the same. You're allowed to not be good at everything, but anything you do learn, you might be able to then transfer into a role.
Fantastic, thank you, Kelly, for that. So tell us, what is some of your highlights in your career so far?
I'm really proud of myself that I'm now a driving instructor in such a short period of time. It's a big achievement for me. So I'm very, very proud of myself for that. The events that I do, like this, I've done several, which is just trying to, as I said, Southeastern want a more diverse railway. So I've been involved in some school events where I've attended a school not in uniform, and they've had to guess the job what my job role was, which they didn't. I think someone said I was a golfer, which was quite funny. So yeah, I really enjoy these sort of things that I'm doing. Just the fact as well that I've come through the whole process, because it is difficult. There's a lot of rules that you have to learn. You really do have to apply yourself. But I'm just proud that I've got into a job that I really, really enjoy. I really can't stress that. I absolutely love my job. So yeah, it's just the fact that I'm achieving and still achieving.
Fantastic. It's really good to hear that you found something that you're really passionate about and that you enjoy. I think from all our speakers so far, what we've heard is time and time again is to find a job that you enjoy. So try everything until you find the one that you enjoy, and that's the most important. Yeah, and so clear to hear that from you as well, Kelly. So that's really good. So tell us a little bit about your role model? Who is your role model and why?
My grandmother. She was. I'm Welsh. I don't sound Welsh, but I was born in Wales. My grandmother was a strong Welsh woman. And she took me and my brother on the day of her retirement. So she was quite an elderly grandmother. I was only 4. My brother was 8. So it must have been very difficult for her having 2 young children. But she just always inspired me. She always let me know that you could do anything. She supported us. Nothing really shocked her. If I came out with something that I wanted to do, it didn't really shock her. So she's always been my inspiration. She always taught me to whatever you wanted to do was achievable if you tried hard enough. And that if it didn't work out, it was fine as long as you took some learning from it, as long as you had some sort of learning process through it. So she was my inspiration, really, just to make my grandmother proud.
Oh, brilliant. Lovely to hear that. And I'm sure your grandmother must be very proud to know that she's your role model as well.
Yeah.
Just wanted to ask a little bit about, is there something else in your career that you still want to do and achieve?
Even with, as I said previously, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and then I thought I did know, and that didn't work out. It's sort of the same within the railway. So there are a lot of avenues that I can go down. I initially thought that I would like to go into the training school because I do like working with people. But that's changed a little bit. To be honest, I'm not sure at the moment, and as a lot of the other speakers have said, it's okay to not be sure. I've just moved into the role of the driving instructor, which again, I wasn't sure whether I was going to like that, but I'm loving it. So at the moment, I'm focusing on doing that and doing that to the best of my ability. And then from there, the Southeastern are very good at supporting you if you want to move into a different area. They are really supportive like that. So when the time comes, you know, I know there'll be people there that I can talk to, management or even other drivers or driving instructors, and then work out where I want to go. But at the moment, not too sure. I'm just enjoying my driving instructing.
Thank you. Over the last year, as you know, we've all had a very challenging few months for everybody, whether you're a young person or an adult in employment. Is there anything you've learned over the last year that you take that's positive, that you can take a learning that you will take forward to the future from the last few months?
I just think being kind to each other. We're all struggling in one form or another, and sometimes it is just a kind words to someone, just saying morning. Where I live in the country, so we do get a lot of people walking past, and sometimes it's just nice to be nice and just to say good morning or hello. Yeah, just being more supportive of each other. I think if everybody was like that, we would live in a much better place.
Okay, thank you. Kelly, can I say thank you so much for joining us this morning.
You're more than welcome.
Thank you for your video and for taking part in the live questions. There has been, unfortunately, some technical problems, so your colleague Gemma Davis was not able to join us, sadly, in the questions and answers, and I know some of our listeners are having problems listening live, so hopefully they can pick up this on demand later today. And so sadly, we've unfortunately not been able, due to the technical problems, not been able to get all our viewers in with their questions, so I apologise for that. But you've been fantastic today. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And so we have come to the end of today's Girls Can Do Kent and Medway International Women's Week. Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow we will be showing our second day of the event, and we're going to put the details up very shortly. Thank you very much to all our viewers today for taking part in the event.